Hi, and welcome back to another session by Fit with Cura. And in today's session, we are going to understand that what box breathing is and how you can implement that to focus, improve your focus, and to reduce the overwhelm and the stress. So let me quickly share my presentation with you. Now, when we talk about feeling overwhelmed, when we talk about I have too many things on my list, when we talk about, I am unable to focus, that is not a motivation problem. It is actually the nervous system which is asking for regulation. That means that the problem is not that the person doesn't want to do things. उसको ऐसे नहीं है कि ये problem है कि वो action नहीं ले पा रहा है. It's not about motivation. It's not about where that person is going. It is about the feelings and the thoughts are so much that the person is not able to focus onto it. And this particular issue can definitely be dealt with breath control. And so in today's session, what we're going to do is we're going to understand that what box breathing is. And what we're going to do is with box breathing, we are going to understand that how the nervous system can be regulated. Now, why the mind feels busy? Now, this is very crucial because see, the mind is busy because the nervous system is continuously in the survival mode. Okay. Now, survival mode means that, whenever you feel that there is a threat to your existence, to your identity, to your ego, then the nervous system triggers an alarm. It triggers the amygdala, which is actually an alarm, and tells the amygdala that, a threat is coming. And which is why there are so many times that we tend to do lot many things, multitasking, in order to just survive. And this is why there are a number of things which are going on in our mind. So thoughts speed up, our focus reduces because we say that I have so many things on my plate that I can't really focus. We become forgetful, or sometimes it also affects the decision making. And imagine like if you are taking time just to decide, what to eat, where to go, and imagine like if you're having decision fatigue or decision is basically going in a way wherein you are making a decision and then you're changing it, you're not able to fix onto what you have committed to. All this makes life very effortful and all this makes life very busy, right? So actually, because there are number of things which we need to focus upon and we are not able to prioritize any of them, we say that my focus is lost. We say that my memory is gone bad. We say that I've become forgetful. We say that I'm feeling anxious. We say that I'm not able to breathe. Sometimes we feel suffocated because of it. Sometimes we feel that we are not able to sleep because of this, right? This is because the mind is continuously racing. Okay. Now, when the mind is racing, it is not a sign of a weakness. Okay. It doesn't mean that because you're having too many thoughts, that means that, you're become a weak person. No. Sometimes that overwhelm means your body is asking for regulation. Regulation in terms of, it says that, what, I don't want more pressure. I don't want more effort. But what I want is a relaxed, calm, peaceful mind. And how to get to that? Because you would say that, like, really, I can't stop thinking. I mean, it's not possible for me to stop thinking altogether. And you're right. Completely stopping the thinking, okay, or any thoughts in your mind is the ultimate aspiration that one can have. But it is not always possible. And which is why, even if we slow down the thought processes, and then if we can prioritize them, then that's the beauty of it. Now, see, now why breath comes first. Now, I'll tell you one very simple analogy. Now, see, breath is something like, the breathing process is something which happens very naturally. Otherwise, in our conscious awareness, we are not thinking about whether we are breathing, not breathing, whether we are breathing shallow or whether it's a deep breath. We are not thinking about any of this, correct? But we're still breathing. But this is one system which we can control voluntarily, right? It is same like thoughts, right? So thoughts, we say that we generate more than 60,000 thoughts in a day, right? So if we are generating more than 60,000 thoughts in a day, ideally, if you see, like, if there are 60,000 thoughts and if you keep thinking about what all you're thinking, we will go mad, right? So these thoughts are, otherwise, when they are not in consciousness, they are running in background, okay? But we can still control them. It's the same like breath, right? So breath is, otherwise it's on a like auto process, but we can control it. And which is why in Ayurveda, in Yogasana, we say it is pranayam, right? So why pranayam? Prana is breath, right? Ayam is control. So when you control breath, you understand that how to control involuntary factors. So involuntary factors in this case is basically the thought. So with this, what happens is we reduce number of thoughts and we reduce the speed of thoughts. Both these things are very important and very crucial, because without that, what would happen is we will be taxing ourselves, and which is why overwhelm is not the weakness. Okay. Now the first important thing, like I told you, is this directly affects the nervous system. Because when you are doing a breathing exercise on a regular basis, it basically signals the amygdala that everything is safe. Okay, everything is safe, everything is possible. And if you slow down the thoughts, we can think in some other direction from other perspective. Okay, so you can't really force yourself into calm. You can't really force yourself into that zone of safety. But what you can definitely do is regulate those thoughts. Once you start becoming more aware about how you're breathing, once you start become more aware about what you're thinking, तो फिर उसको चेंज करना बहुत ईजी है. अगर वो नहीं कर पाए तो फिर देन दैट्स लाइक अ कंटिन्यूअस थिंग, राइट? I'll tell you one example. One of my client, she had come to me for coaching, and she said that her first goal or aim is to start working onto her health, and she wanted to lose weight around 11 kgs. She wanted to lose weight. Now we started working onto her lifestyle foundation. We started taking care of, overall diet planning, her sleep patterns. Now, because she was like already into lot many things in her career, in her personal life, once she's committed to the health as her goal, just in few weeks time she said that no, 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 health is okay, but now I want to do something else. Okay, I want to now start to earning more money. Let's just focus on that. So what happens is we cannot stick to it, and whatever we leave, we feel that that's not going to get achieved ever. So आजकल बोलते हैं FOMO, so fear of losing out, right? So why? Because why there's a fear of losing out? बिकॉज पीपल फील दैट ओके, आपने एक गोल लिया और दूसरा छोड़ा, इसका मतलब नहीं मिलेगा दूसरा. इट्स नॉट दैट वे. See, when we are saying that you control the breath, when we are saying that you control the thought, doesn't mean that you leave the other thoughts altogether or other priorities altogether. It's just that we sequence the thoughts those that way. Okay, and with this the clarity comes, right? Because otherwise, if like we say that, mind, willpower is also a muscle, we need to exercise it daily, just like our muscles, right? Regular human or voluntary muscles, we need to regulate that. So same way, breath can be used to control these thoughts. Okay, now excuse me, what is box breathing? Okay. Now, box breathing is actually a very structured way of breathing. Okay. Now, like I had already given you a mention of pranayam, right? So in pranayam also, there are various types which are extremely useful for your health benefits, your physical, mental health benefits, for spiritual benefits, right? Box breathing is such that which you can basically do any time in a day. Okay. It is not really a type of pranayama. It is basically modernized version of breathing exercise. Okay. Now, why it is called box breathing is because in this, it's like you inhale for 4 seconds, you hold that particular inhalation for 4 seconds, and then you exhale for 4 seconds and hold your breath into exhalation for 4 seconds. Okay, now when you're doing this, what is actually happening is one, because it's a very structured way of breathing, you keep focusing onto your breath. Okay, so basically, till the time you're doing a breathing exercise, you're not focusing on anything else but the breath. That's point number one. Second, when you do these rounds 2 to 3 times, your amygdala, okay, amygdala is a structure which actually triggers the stress response. That particular structure starts seeing this as it's a relief. It's basically a release or reduction in the cortisol level. Okay, and this is exactly why box breathing works beautifully well, particularly for the clients who are having lot of overwhelm. Okay, now it sends a signal to safety signal to the nervous system. It calms the heart rate, right? It reduces all the mental noise, okay? And it also beautifully restores focus. And I think we are all here for that, right? We want that overwhelm. We all want those, train of thoughts to slow down, and so that we can start focusing on to what really we want, right? Now, during the practice, okay, there is a possibility that the thoughts may come, and that's perfectly fine. Okay, but once you keep practicing it this daily, okay, what is going to happen is the thoughts would get slowed down. Okay, there is no need to control the mind. So if I tell you that, okay, sit and don't think about anything, okay, 100 different thoughts will come, right? But if I tell you just sit and focus on your breath, okay, what would happen? You would not probably think about anything else but the breathing, because you are now focused on to the breathing patterns, right? And this is exactly why we need to implement this in a regular practice. Now, basically, because this is a rhythmic breath, it will help you to get in tune with the breathing, okay, and it will help you relaxing the muscles as well. So basically, even for the clients who are having joint issues, okay, stiffnesses in the neck, stiffnesses in the hip region, or people who tend to sit for a long time and they have pain in the lower back because of the overuse, for those clients also this is very useful, because like just imagine that while you're doing a breathing exercise, while you're doing a box breathing, what you're doing is you're relaxing those muscles. So you can set an intention and do the breathing, and the magic happens. Okay, now basically in this practice you're going to experience that there would be a slowing down of thoughts. Okay, like I told you that the thoughts are not going to get completely stopped. Okay, but there is going to be slowing down of thoughts, and there would be change in the body tension and muscle tension. Okay, even if there is a very subtle shift, okay, then also it matters, but it is important that this shift happens. Okay, so now we're going to of course practice this, and we are going to understand how to implement that into your during your daily life, in your daily life. So when can you use this box breathing? One, like, you can do this anytime. So if you want to fix a specific schedule, if you want to do this in the morning or if you want to do it at night, do that. Okay. Because it has got amazing health benefits. So many a times my clients do this just before sleeping. Okay. So that's, they can actually focus on sleep. They can focus on to the relaxation part of it. Then if there is a lot of emotional overload, you feel anxious, you don't know what to do with so many thoughts in your mind, you don't know how to control that chain of thoughts, then this particular practice is useful. If you have some important meetings, If you have any exam, if you have, let's say, a webinar, or if you have a seminar wherein you need to address to a group, and if you feel that you're getting overwhelmed with that, then you can do the back box breathing. And also for students, or for staff or professionals who need to have a very critical attention, they need a very critical focus to carry out actions or carry out to their work, they also would get a lot of benefit by box breathing. So the guide the practice guide is, first and foremost, you have to sit comfortably, you have to sit straight. Make sure that you're not having a lot of food at least 1 hour before the practice. So, and that also helps, like, if you're doing it before sleep, let's say if you sleep by 11:30, then, you complete your dinner at least 2 hours prior by 9:30. And then if you do this, it will be very suitable, comfortable for you. So in this practice, you have to sit comfortably, your spine is relaxed, your shoulders are relaxed, don't stoop, but you have to inhale basically for 4 cycles. Hold it for 4 cycles, 4 seconds, and then exhale for four and hold for four. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to practice this together. You can repeat about 4 cycles of this, and that is going to be very helpful. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the slide. Okay, and in this, you can see that I have already customized this breathing for us. Okay. So now when the breathing in starts, you're going to sit straight, have a big broad smile on your face. Okay. And we are going to start inhaling through nose. Okay. Relax, hold your breath, hold your breath. Breathe out, 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 out. Very good. Hold your breath in exhalation. Excellent. Again, breathe in, hold the breath, breathe out, hold the breath in exhalation, breathe in, hold the breath in inhalation, breathe out, hold the breath in exhalation. Again, breathe in, hold the breath in inhalation, breathe out, and hold the breath in exhalation. Now just relax. Focus on your breath for a second. You might feel that you're not really breathing and your breath is actually stopped, it is paused, and that's perfectly fine. And this is because the carbon dioxide gets washed out. And basically, this is how the thoughts can be slowed down. Because if you now notice your breathing, the breathing becomes very slow. Okay. So this is how the train of thoughts can also be slowed down. So I would recommend that you do 4 to 6 cycles. Right now, we just did 4 cycles. You do these 4 to 6 cycles and you can repeat it twice a day also. If you do not have time, just do it once. But if you would have seen that it just takes about 2 minutes time. Okay, but it helps your nervous system to calm down. Even during your office hours, even during your college hours, if you feel that there is, a lot of emotional overwhelm happening, then the box breathing can be practiced. So you can simply put a timer onto your mobile and put it for 4 seconds, 4 seconds breathe, 4 seconds hold, 4 seconds exhale, 4 seconds hold. Okay, this practice will help you a lot in reducing all the discomforts which you are having, okay, with the excess train of thought. So the idea is that you don't have to really fix your life. Okay, you don't have to really fix your thoughts, but what you need to do is you have to regulate the system. So if you would have seen that this is just a 2 minute activity, but this 2 minute activity also has got a huge impact, right? So the idea is that we do this on a regular basis. Okay, We do this on a regular basis and reduce the overall cortisol levels. Okay. Thank you so much.